Project Zomboid is one of the most detailed zombie games ever made. In this zombie simulator, having a generator inside will kill you from carbon monoxide poisoning. You could set alarm clocks to ring at a certain time to lure zombies away. You could tie clothes together to rappel down windows. And you need a can opener to open up canned food. This is just the surface level game mechanics that makes Project Zomboid one of the greatest zombie games ever made. One criticism I often hear about this game is that the graphics aren't good. I mean, this game looks like Fallout 1, but the game's graphics don't hold it back at all. This isn't a slow-paced turn-based RPG. You control your character with WASD and aim and attack with your mouse. This plays like a first-person shooter, but from a top-down view. Despite the graphics looking like a relic from the 90s, the game is still intense and immersive due to what I like to call the Dungeons & Dragons effect. When you play Dungeons & Dragons, it's all imagination based. You may have some figurines on the board, but the game is mostly envisioned in your head. This is what you see, but this is what you imagine. As we grow older, our imaginations become less and less vivid. This is why most adults who play D&D have extremely detailed maps and figurines. It allows them to see what is happening in their campaigns. Project Zomboid is perfectly balanced and gives you that same little push you need to help you imagine what is happening in your game. It may look like this on your screen, but when you play Project Zomboid, it feels like this. One of the main reasons people love this game is due to the amount of detail the developers put in their game. They were set to make the best zombie simulator ever made. You could add sheets to the window to break the line of sight from you and the zombies. Doing this will make them ignore you unless you make a loud noise. You could only see what is in front of you, but since the game is a top-down view, if you hear a zombie behind you, it will show up on your screen. If you hang around dead zombies, it will eventually make you sick. Killing a zombie near a water source like a rain collector or sink has the potential to contaminate it with their blood. Rolling down your car window will cool you off, and getting into a car accident can cause you to break your bones and seriously injure you. You could trip while running or climbing over obstacles, which will cause you to scrape your leg. Any metal put in a microwave could cause it to explode. Not wearing shoes could cause you to cut your feet. Smoking cigarettes calms your nerves. You need a pencil or pen to write notes on your map. And finally, over time buildings will erode and plants will overgrow on top of them. This game is riddled with realistic details. I have almost 100 hours in this game and I'm still finding things out. I didn't know you could burn corpses or literally make tea. Also, apparently there's a whole nother side of the game where if you learn foraging, you could find different plants to make herbal teas that help you if you're sick. Despite there being so much upkeep with your character, it never gets annoying. It's not like you have to brush your teeth or go to the bathroom twice a day. It's just the survival basics like other games have. There is hunger, thirst, boredom, wetness, depression, stress, temperature, tiredness, pain. Okay, there may be a lot of stuff to keep track of, but it's immersive nonetheless. It's just amazing what the developers have done. It is also admirable that they have been updating the game since its release in 2013. Not only have they been consistently updating the game, but every week since its release they have been releasing a dev blog to keep the community posted on what they are working on. Not many developers would take time out of their schedules to update the community. They have been keeping this game alive and improving it for almost 10 years. It is obvious this is a passion project for them, and they will continue to improve this already perfect zombie simulator. They are currently working towards adding NPCs to make the world feel even more alive. All of these aspects makes the game immersive and intense. For example, this one time I wanted to get something from a zombie on the other side of a fence. I didn't want to climb over, so I wanted to see if I could use a knife to stab them through the chain link fence. I wanted to try this because theoretically the knife could fit through the holes. To my surprise, it did work. This was an amazing discovery that made me understand why this game is so great. Again, it doesn't look like much, but this is what you see, but this is how you feel. It makes this game unique and deep like no other game has done before. Before you start thinking that this game is amazing and you'll have the time of your life playing, just know that this isn't the case. Project Zomboid is an extremely difficult game. Any little mistake you make can cause you to end your run. Throughout the game, you are leveling up your character, learning new skills and just trying to survive. When you die in this game, you lose all your progress and have to start a brand new character. The in-game world keeps moving, but you start back at square one. Since this game is incredibly realistic, every decision you make has to come from a base of reality, as one mistake could kill you. It makes it so you have to play this game like it is real life. If you are breaking windows and and climbing through them, you will cut yourself on the glass. You have to be patient. When you break a window, you have to take time to remove the broken shards so you don't get hurt. If you are running around too much, you will trip and get hurt, which will cause you to slow down. Driving too fast can cause you to get into an accident and severely hurt your character. This isn't like other zombie games where you're an untouchable action hero. In Project Zomboid, you're a regular person that sooner or later will die. One of the strongest aspects of this game is the customization you are able to do. Just like Dungeons & Dragons, this all starts with building your character. When you create a character, you aren't creating this Giga Chad that is able to mow down hordes of zombies. You're creating the average person who survived the initial days of the zombie outbreak. You start off by choosing an occupation that gives you specific boosts to each skill. You could be an electrician who knows how to set up generators, a doctor who knows about illnesses and general first aid, or you could be even averager and be a simple burger flipper. You can still make a good character, but everything has a trade-off. You could choose skills like being strong to knock down zombies, or the hobbyist gymnast trait that makes you better at sneaking. But this all comes with a trade-off. For every positive trait you choose, you must choose a negative trait equal in points. So you can be an athletic monster of a man, but you may have to pick negative traits like slow learner and slow healer. Everything must balance out. You aren't the untouchable action hero like in the movies. Your character has to average out. The good thing about this system is that the combinations are endless. You could be a sneak master but extremely thirsty and have to drink water every 10 minutes. It gives character and texture to your playthroughs. It makes it so everyone who plays has a different experience. It allows you to play how you want to play the game. If you want to be loud and use guns, you could build a character that is weak but has impeccable aim. If you want to do a stealth build, you could choose an occupation like burglar or nurse that gives you a boost in the light-footed category. If you want to focus on building your base, you could choose carpenter and have that skill leveled up from the start. The possibilities are almost endless. Creating your character isn't the end-all be-all. It is possible to level up any of these skills independently from each other throughout your playthrough. While you're trying to survive, the world changes your character based on what you are doing. If you are staying away from zombies, living on your own, and growing your own food, your farming ability will level up. If you are constantly running away from zombies, your fitness and sprinting will level up. If you choose the overweight trait, you could lose weight by exercising every day. Your character adapts to the environment you set up for them. Speaking of the environment, you don't have to play the game how the developers intended. Every aspect of the world is customizable to be played however you enjoy most. If you find the game too difficult, you can make it so the zombies have poor eyesight and walk extremely slow. If you are getting infected too often, you could turn off infections altogether and do a playthrough where you are immune to the virus. You could even play like your favorite movies and shows like The Walking Dead. You could turn on everyone is infected, so no matter how your character passes, they will turn into a zombie like the show The Walking Dead.
We're all infected.
What do you mean infected? Like AIDS or something?
This is just surface level tweaks. You could go deeper in depth and change things like loot respawning, the rarity of guns and medical supplies, the spawn rate of keys for cars. There's so much you could customize to play the game how you want to. What's great about this system is you could recreate different genres of zombies from your favorite media. I mentioned you could make the game like The Walking Dead where everyone is infected, but you could go even deeper. If you like zombies from 28 Days Later and World War Z, you could make zombie runners. In the vanilla game, it takes 2 to 3 days to turn into a zombie once you get bit, but you could change the amount of time it takes for people to turn into seconds like the rage virus from those movies. If you like zombie games like The Last of Us, you could play the 10 years later mode of the game where resources are more scarce, civilization is in ruins, and the plant life has taken over. The 10 years later mode is great if you are tired of playing the same scenario where you're at the start of the pandemic. This is 10 years later and adds a different flavor to the game. This is all in the vanilla game. I didn't even cover the insane amount of mods the community has created. They cover everything from quality of life mechanics like throwing corpses out of windows, all the way to big titty anime avatars. But it's what's in between these categories that makes the community so great. Some of my favorite mods includes the bow and arrow mod, which adds bows and arrows to the game, fluffy hair, which makes it so hairstyles stay the same while wearing hats, the undead survivor outfits, the authentic Z mod, which gives zombies more outfits based on their location, and the lockpicking mod, just to name a few. You could even change the entire map of the game. There are so many mods to satisfy anyone's playstyle. You could even get power armor from Fallout. There are so many great creators for the game, so please go check them out in the workshop page. All of this in tandem allows you to create your own story. That is why there's so many great creators making videos like I Survived 1,000 Days or My First Year in Project Zomboid. Each of these people will have different experiences and stories to share. At the core, this is what makes Project Zomboid such a good game. Each interaction plays out like a movie or comic book.
Oh no. Oh no, run! 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 Yeah, shoot him! Shoot him!
Oosh.
Holy fuck! Holy fuck! Dude, no! No, just run as much as you can! No! No, 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 no! Oh, God.
Thanks for the help.
I'm sorry! I'm sorry! No! No!
The graphics aren't important. You don't need 4K textures and ultra realistic models to get immersed in the game. Instead, the developers focused on making the zombie simulator as realistic as possible. There are also many multiplayer servers you could play on that have things like role-playing or ultra hardcore mode. The added bonus of customizing the game allows players to play out similar scenarios to their favorite shows or movies. This is why Project Zomboid is one of the greatest and most detailed zombie games ever made.